What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel, Rick the Honest Mechanic, and this is another episode of our 1978 motorhome, also known as Susie. If you haven't watched the first one, it'll be linked in the description down below. But we're going to move right along, tackling some more stuff on this massive list. So far, we've fixed the furnace, we've moved the water pump switch to a location that's easier for us to use, and we tried changing out the LEDs on the taillights, but that didn't work. You have to see that in the episode. So we're going to continue on this list. You got to follow along. Stick around. I think the first thing we're going to tackle in this episode is going to be the hot water. We've got cold water coming from the tap, but we don't have any hot water. And then after a little bit of digging around before I did the episode, or started filming, I should say, right behind here, so this box right here is the hot water tank. So this little fitting was sitting, well, actually it was tied, and it was bypassing the entire hot water tank system, which makes sense as to why we weren't getting any water through the pipes, or through any of the faucets, I should say. So I've gone ahead, I've reconnected it. So we're going to leave this open for the time being. We're going to go hook up some water outside and see if this thing leaks. Let's cross our fingers. Might make a big mess. Okay, so we've got the water connected here. I've got the hot water tap opened up. And there you go, we can start seeing water coming out. That's great. But I already see the problem here as to why they may have bypassed it. The bottom is dripping. So right now it's trying to fill up. Oh yeah, listen to that. But yeah, if that kept dripping like that, you'd go through your holding tank of water in no time at all. So that's alright, but let's hurry up and go check inside. Make sure we have no leaks there. And what's going on here? What? Oh no! Oh, that's our gray water. Oh, damn. Okay. Darn it. Okay. That's awesome. Let's go turn off the water. Hurry up. Whew. Okay, so we got the water off, guys. We just added something else to the list. Awesome. Gets better all the time. So water's off. That's going to keep dripping a little bit. But good news, though. There's always bad and some good. It's dry in here. So that's awesome. Now, what about, I didn't check the bathroom. I didn't turn that one on. I don't think that's going to matter, but let's take a quick look here. Pardon the mess. But yeah, that seems dry. That seems dry. Alright. Okay, so let's go outside. And let's go see if we can fix that leak. Okay, so if I look at it some more, what it looks like they've done, it looks like they've added a garden hose hookup to the bottom of that tank. I'm not sure why they would do that. And then they just put this plug. But the plug is obviously not tight enough because everything's loose and leaking. And even more issues, if we look down inside, something looks like it's part of that burner system. And it just looks like it's laying in there. But no matter what, I got to take this whole burner tube out with the thermocouple set up in order to get to this. So, well, let's take everything apart. Okay, with any luck, I'll be able to take this whole assembly out. So I'm going to take these two screws here, as long as they're not seized. No way. Look at that. Well, that's awesome. Okay. What are the chances? What are the chances? What do you think? I'll get them both? Put the pressure. Work it back and forth. Oh, yeah. It's going. Nice. Nice. Perfect. Okay. Now, so I think our best bet is to remove this over here, and that should just be knurled on. And that is. Oh, that wasn't in very far. I think somebody's been in here before. And let's take this out. Now the good thing is about any of these fittings, these are all brass. So normally brass doesn't rust. That wasn't in there very far either. Okay. Now let's see if we can sneak this out. So this is the burner assembly, guys. So you got your thermocouple right here, and then this is your pilot light. Ah, that's what that's all about. Come on. So that has rotten off. So that's supposed to sit like this, and that's going to light your pilot just like our furnace we had an issue with. This is kind of similar, guys, and we got a bunch of stuff in here too. So let's bring this inside and we'll fix this up, but we'll do that after. Now let's see if we can tackle this here. Okay, now with any luck, I'll be able to hold this part and maybe turn this part. Turn the plug and hold the other end. Come on now. This might be too big of a wrench. Let's try this wrench. That's not going anywhere. Of course. I don't think these pliers are going to cut it. Or maybe I just need to have more faith. Okay, let's go get a pipe wrench. Well, tried to get my wrench in there, and it broke right off. So that's alright. We didn't need this anyways. So now we need to deal with this though, this other plug. So let's see if we can get that out, because that's what I'm more concerned about. Because we need to seal it. Ideally, it'd be nice to have some kind of a plug or a valve so that we can drain it in the wintertime. But let's concentrate on at least just getting it loose here. Okay, what size do you think that is? 9/16? I think it's 9/16. There we are. Beauty. Beauty. Now let's see if we can crack your loose here without cracking the tank. Oh, nice. We gotta move. Let's see if we can wiggle this back and forth a little bit. Beauty. Oh, look at that. It's some kind of a valve. Oh, like a petcock of sorts. Oh, well, that's kind of neat. I'm not sure why they had this on there, unless it was supposed to be like this. Huh, I don't know. Well, oh, while we're here too, just like the furnace, there is a pile of rust inside here. So we're going to clean that out, and we're going to fix, where is it? We're going to fix this little contraption as well. So let's get inside the shop. So after cleaning up this part, guys, figured out what it is. So if I turn this over, you gotta imagine this would be on the inside. This is a valve. Turn it all the way in. It will seal. Well, hopefully. Because if it does seal, then we're golden. Because then we can just reinstall it, put a little tape on the end. And I'm guessing that they had put that garden hose attachment just to get it to drain further away from the side of the motorhome, so it wouldn't ruin the paint or something because it's hot water. But yeah, cool. Okay, so moving on to our burner. If you guys, oh, come on, camera, focus. There we go. So right in here, you might not be able to see it, but there's a tiny, tiny little hole, and this is your pilot. Now, once the pilot is lit, it's going to warm up this thermocouple, which at the back here is going to allow gas to open up through this bigger tube. Oh my god, camera's not focusing. And this is what's going to create the big flame. But this little guy, not quite sure if you can tell, but focus, thank you. It was mounted with these 4 little tangs approximately right there. And it would be able to, at the same time, keep the thermocouple warm and ignite the gases coming out through this big tube. So I'm going to attempt, and I say attempt because I'm not sure if this is going to work. I might have to buy a whole new burner here. But I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to maybe put a little tiny piece of tape on that hole so that nothing gets in there. And I'm going to clean this end up. I'm going to try and just tack it back in place as best as I can. Okay, so my weapons of choice here are a couple of files. I just got a regular round file and the flat file. This one's a little bit more aggressive, so I think I'm going to start slowly just right where the tangs were. I'm going to just kind of clean it up just enough so I can get some of the rust away, so I can get something to stick with the weld. This might work better with a flat file, because the edges of the file are still somewhat sharp. Okay, so we got a little bit of shiny going on there. I don't know if this is going to work at all. But like I said, for entertainment purposes, let's see if we can get this thing to work. I think the best bet here is to try and get a good ground. Hopefully, well, maybe I'll be able to get ground through the vise with any luck. All right. So I think it was sitting, according to what I see here, right about there. So I'm going to try and tack it on this side. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I'm wearing my helmet. Bumped into you. There you go. So hopefully I can just give it a little quick tack, and that'll be enough to hold it. Let's turn the heat down just a little bit so we don't melt it right down. My concern is I might end up plugging up that pilot hole, because if we do, we're kind of screwed. Let's hope for the best here. Probably better if I just wear some gloves. Then I know I'm not going to burn myself. Let's get some gloves on. Hold this in place right where we want it. I don't think I've done such intricate welds before. Well, that's holding. I mean, really, that's all I kind of need. See if I can do one at this end, though. Yeah, that doesn't seem too bad. Alright, okay. I think I'm happy with that. Now let's go put it all back together. Starting with the plug, see if it seals. If it does, we'll carry on and see if we can get some flame happening. Make some fire. Alright, so we got everything back together. We're going to go turn on the water now. And we're going to go see if this is going to leak at all. And it turns out that I'm a bit of an idiot. Because, remember this thing that I had a hard time with? Well, if you pay close attention to the center, it's got like a star pattern. Well, until I mangled that part, it also did. Now I'm starting to think that this was kind of like the, going this way, would have been the way to turn it on and off. So, yeah, I kind of, not great now, but I can use a pair of pliers to get in there. So, let's go turn on some water. Alright, so we've got some gurgling here. I'm just leaving this open just a little bit to let the air out so they can fill the tank. So let's go see outside now what happens. Alright, so far so good. So from time to time you can also just bleed the top here, let some air out, and that'll help fill the tank. Looking good. Alright, so the lines are primed. Look at this. No more burbling. So that means the hot water tank is full. Now let's go back outside and see if we got any leaks. Well, I'd be lying if we said we didn't. We've got the slightest little drip. So I'm going to put some pliers on there, see if we can seal that up. So I got a little bit better, but not that much. I mean, but hopefully with a little bit of heat or a couple of cycles, it'll take its place, because that's much better than it was, as you guys remember. So now, let's go get the propane turned on and see if we can get this pilot to light. Alright, I'm going to cheat, guys. I'm going to be using a torch here, because otherwise sometimes this takes forever. So let's go to pilot, which we are. I'm going to hold this down, and with any luck, this could be a little flame. Oh, look at that, guys. Oh. Oh, that's cool. Okay, you don't see from there, I know you can't. But I'm going to hold it for a little bit and see if it goes out. And it does. So let me just grab the camera. You guys see that nice little blue flame back there? Nice. Okay, I'm going to let it go and hope that it's going to stay lit. No, it keeps going out. That means my thermocouple isn't warm enough yet. Or it's not working. So I'm going to play around with this for a little bit. Well, unfortunately, guys, it will not light, because as soon as I let go of the bypass for the pilot goes out right away, which tells me the thermocouple isn't doing its job. And by judging at the thermocouple wire here, not much left of it. Turn on some lights. It's getting dark out here. So I'm going to order a thermocouple. Hopefully they still have some. But let's move on to something else. Let's go inside, because there's lights in there. Okay, so we know now we've fixed the pilot, which is a really cool thing. We'll just get a new thermocouple and that should work just fine. But what I want to move on to inside, because it's getting dark out, recording late nowadays, guys. I mean, I've been pretty busy. So I want to move on to the TV. Be nice that this is a long weekend, May long weekend's coming up. Be nice to be able to just kind of sit back, relax when we got this all set up as a bed, sit down as a family, watch a movie. So we just went this past weekend, which is one of the reasons why I'm so busy now. I'm kind of getting caught up in all my videos. So I just set the legs on the TV like you can do, let's say if you had it on a coffee table or so. The problem is, this is as far of an angle as we can set it up. So I purchased a nice wall mount. I mean, this TV weighs literally like maybe 2 pounds, so I'm not super concerned with the weight of it. This is a full motion wall mount. So I'm hoping that I can mount the TV on that back wall, and it's going to have enough angle that we can probably come out, say, right about here. And then we could probably, being that it's full motion, maybe angle it down. So let's start by removing these legs. And I think we're going to need to reinforce that wall because it's just made of just that light. I don't even know. It doesn't seem to be super strong. I can flex it with my thumb. So I'm going to glue and screw on the corner 2 of these and set up the wall mount on that. So let's get to work. Check it out, fully extended, and it's still nice and solid. I don't think it's going to fall. Well, actually, I hope it's not going to fall. Like I said earlier, it's not a very heavy TV, so it's going to probably bounce a little bit, but if I'm going to be storing it, I think I'm going to be storing it more like this, towards the inside, of course, so that the arm doesn't take all the weight. And that looks pretty good there. But when we're watching it, look at this. This is why I wanted a full motion mount, because now we can set it out further away. I mounted it a little bit on the high side. It's touching the AC a little bit, but I can tilt it down, and then it's fine. And actually, probably best when you tilt it down like that, because then when you're sitting, you get a pretty good view. So, cool. Now the most satisfying part, now that it's all mounted, I've been waiting to take this off. All these stickers. That way there, when I was working with it, I didn't want to scratch the bezel. Look at that. Sweet. All right. Well, I'm going to wire all this up, get rid of some of this cabling, make it look all nice and neat. But that'll be tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to be tackling something else. So don't go far, because the video is not over. For those still following, it's the next day, different shirt on, not as cold out. Yesterday it was kind of cold. And last night, got the TV installed, and as you can tell, we got some power going to it, so we know it works. Yeah, no signal. But more importantly, I ended up going to the store yesterday and picking up a new thermocouple. So we're going to go try that next. Okay, so before we do the hot water tank, I decided you guys might find this interesting too. Check out these lights. So when I turn the left signal, I get a right signal on the trailer, and vice versa if I do the other side. I know the trailer is wired properly because I tow this thing all the time with our new Volkswagen. So I think the problem lies just inside the wiring right at the back of this RV. Let's check it out. So what do we have underneath this big bundle of tape here? I'm going to guess this is where the repair was probably made. Right here. What do you think? Not even crimp and shrinks. I guess those weren't invented back in '78. Oh, nasty. I'm surprised they even work. Look at this. So I guess we're going to crimp or recrimp everything here. And of course, there's really no color code on the truck side, or RV side I guess it'd be. So we're going to go with just a plain old color codes that we have normally on trailers, right? So if you guys don't know it, green towards the grass, yellow towards the yellow line, brown is always going to be your park lights, and then you got your white for your brakes. So we're going to make sure that this coincides. I think all I need to do here, quite honestly, is switch, because the brakes work. I could probably get away with just switching to yellow and green, seeing what that does. We'll just twist them up and see if that fixes it. Alright, so switching those wires around did the job. Let's go make some connections and shrink them up. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, I said that wrong earlier. The white is actually the ground, and not the brake. The brakes are actually done together with the yellow and green. Sorry about that. Alright, so I got everything back together here. We got a new thermocouple. Check for leaks. There's no leaks. Just regular soapy water would do fine, guys. So you're going to check here, and as well as here, the main burner. And I mean, our leak here seems to have stopped. I pressed on the other fitting like it was supposed to be done. It's going to be way easier to drain later. We do have water in the tank to make sure that we're not going to burn anything up. So let's go through the light procedure. Let's turn on the pilot here. Press down. Should light. Oh yeah, beautiful. And if I let go now, is it going to blow out, I should say. No, it's still going. Awesome. Okay, and now we've got our temperature dial up here set to normal. So theoretically, if I turn our valve to on, this should light. Let's see what happens. Oh, instantly. Beautiful. Oh, look at that blue flame. Loving it. It's awesome. Hot water. We're going to be able to take a shower when we're camping. Sweet. Sweet. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you stuck around till this point. I really enjoy fixing these old machines and doing a few repairs and just making some creature comforts. So again, thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. And I mean, I think I'm going to sit down now enjoy my work and watch a little bit of YouTube. Anyways, guys, until next time, we'll see you then.